And they a lot of times think we're crazy, but this is something that we've brought from our pharmacy software days of it needs to operate the way an investor would want it,
Mm-hmm.
not the way it seems to logically flow. There's a difference between real world and theory.
You've had a project going on for a while, some software that I've been itching to find out about because you've been talking about it for a while, and I'm like, all right, man, if there's anybody who's going to crush it from building a software, it's somebody who built a business like you have and who has 130 doors. So, can you talk about what this software is and who it's for and what it does?
Yeah. First, thank you. That was a big compliment there. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Um, the software's named PETE, P-E-T-E. It's not an acronym. Amy and I are Oklahoma State fans, so that was our inspiration and our nod back to Oklahoma State.
Good old Peterson days,
Um,
huh?
uh, who?
Was it? Oh,
You're
excuse me. I
you're
may
thinking
be
of
on the
OU.
wrong camp. Not the running back for Oklahoma back in the day. I'm thinking of somebody
No,
else.
no. Pistol Pete is Oklahoma State's mascot.
Not an Oklahoma fan. Sorry, man.
That's all right. I'll forgive you. Um, but it started out with me being frustrated with having a CRM that didn't work the way I wanted, didn't work the way our business worked, not being able to find one that did, having a separate phone system, having a separate task management, a separate project management, separate everything. And hearing people say, "Oh, well, just use Zapier to do this and do that." Zapier does a lot, but it's not perfect. There's a lot of holes it leaves. And so, with my IT and dev background, I started making something for us. And Amy pretty quickly was like, "Hey, there's other people that you're having this problem. Everybody else is.
Big
You
time.
can sell it." And I was like, "I have absolutely no interest, none." Eventually, she wore me down, and folks at Investorfield did by, we talk about it, and they'd be like, "Yes, I need that.
Yeah.
Can you make that?" So we made Pete. It does everything from the CRM and the phone call coming in all the way through. You can manage your projects in it. We have project management. We have task management. You're not having to bounce between systems. It's all native, all built into one, and it's customizable. That was the biggest thing. And we hired some developers to work on it with us. And they a lot of times think we're crazy, but this is something that we've brought from our pharmacy software days of it needs to operate the way an investor would want it,
Mm-hmm.
not the way it seems to logically flow. There's a difference between real world and theory.
Sure.
And we've approached it that way. So it's taken longer than would like to have taken. Software always takes longer, but we're there. We have a good product now. And I don't, I, people have called it an all in one. I think that's the easiest way to kind of describe it. I don't like calling it an all in one because inevitably there's going to be a hole that we haven't thought of or something new that happens.
Sure.
Like right now, we can't do list building in it. We will, but stepping stones.
Yeah.
Um, but it's been fun.
That's awesome, dude. So, congratulations, by the way. I mean, that's
Thank
huge.
you.
I can't even imagine what that process was probably like going through it. But like you said, as people start to use it, as you guys continue to use it, you're going to find things that are going to be important that you'll eventually maybe tie in. But to me, it sounds like I could, there's platforms for data. I could care less about the data in there. What's important to me is the the calling, the ability to text, the ability to send out contracts, do a lot of those types of things. Is basically that what this does right now? Is that is task management, obviously follow ups, those types of things,
Yep, it
customer service.
is. And it c- brings it all in together, even e-signature. So, um, give you an idea of the possibilities in it. You can set up your workflows to not just send automated emails and texts. You can set it up so that if you send out a contract for e-signature and it comes back and is signed, the system automatically moves the property from lead into purchase,
Nice.
and then kicks off whatever you want it to at that point. Whether that's putting in tasks to send the title or sending emails or whatever the case is. And you can do that kind of automation based on pretty much any point, any data point that's on the property. So, um, if there's an appointment that's canceled, we track it and then we put in a sequence, and we have a lot of things that happen. If somebody says they sold the house, great. Here, instead of updating the status and maybe doing a workflow, although most people don't actually follow up with people who say they've sold.
Sold. Yep.
Um, all our lead manager has to do is one thing: move it to a status of appointment or sold, and then it kicks off everything else. And in 30 days, that person gets reminded, if we haven't heard anything from that seller, to go ahead and check and see if it's actually sold or not.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, and for people who are listening to this, like, this probably sounds foreign to you if you're not familiar with the customer relationship management system, which is essentially, this is what this is, right? This is software for managing your contacts, your leads. But in my opinion, this is what either makes or breaks a business, is having a good way of following up with your sellers, and not overcomplicated, but like let the system do the heavy lifting, because salespeople are terrible at follow up. Like, let's just be real. They suck at follow up.
Yep.
They shouldn't have to worry about it. Which is why you have a system that does the heavy lifting for you. But then when they respond, now is the time when we can get them on the phone and solve
Right.
that problem.
Right.
So
And it helps alleviate the judgment decisions of, well, should this one be a long-term follow-up or should it not? Well, it
yep.
doesn't matter. Did you make an offer? The offer's declined. Here's where it goes.